Good morning, class. Okay, Miss Nina, please lead the prayer. Okay, thank you, Miss Nina. So, class, before you take your seat, please arrange your chairs and pick up the pieces of papers under your chairs. Okay, you may take your seat. Okay, class, how are you feeling today? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Some of you are happy and some of you are fine. So, before we proceed to our proper discussion, I have here prepared a warm-up activity, which is a jumbled letter. I know you are familiar of this, so I will group you into two groups. This left side will be the group 1 and this right side will be the group 2. So, in each group, choose one representative to say your correct answers. So I will show you here a jumbled letter and raise your hand if you want to answer. Okay? So first jumbled letter. Okay, group 1. Very good. The correct answer is May. Okay. Next. Okay, group 2. Very good. The correct answer is wood. Okay. Next jumbled letter. Group 2 again. Very good. The word is should. Then, another. Okay, group 1. Okay, the correct answer is can. And then last jumbled letter. Okay, group 2. The correct answer is very good, modals. So, very good class. You're able to answer those jumbled letter. So the group 2 will earn a 50 points. So I have here also prepared an activity. Here, so same group, and then choose again one representative to say the answer. So, okay, the direction. Identify the modal verbs in the given sentences. Okay, so you are going to choose the modal verbs here in the box, and then here. So first, for example, here in number 1, for example, the answer is can. So you're going to raise your hand and say to me your answer, okay? So group 1, what is your answer for number 1? Let's check. Okay, very good. The answer is mass. Then for number 2, okay, group 1 again, you acknowledge. What is your answer? Very good. The answer is can. Okay, for number 3. Yes, group 2. Okay, the answer is here is May. Very good. For number 4. Group 1. Very good. The answer here is might. Then for number 5. Very good. The answer here is could. So let us check. Very good, class. Your answers are correct. You're able to answer it. So for this time, the group that will earn 50 points is the group 1 because they answer many correct answers. So now, okay, class, are you familiar with these words in the box? What have you observed? Okay, very good. Thank you. What have you observed? These words. Very good. Thank you, Miss Ria. So, what do you think these words all about? Anyone? Yes, Miss De La Cruz? Very good. So, what do you think our topic for today? Yes? You have the point? Very good. So our topic for today about modal verb. So before I will going to discuss, I will present to you our learning objectives. So at the end of the lesson, students should be able to, number 1, identify modals. Number 2, discuss modals according to their correct usage. Then number 3, create dialogue using modal verbs. Okay. Here. Okay, class. When we say modal verb, what comes to your mind? Anyone? Don't be shy. Just say your answer. Okay. You have the point. So when we say modal verb, so provide additional meaning to the main verb of a sentence by expressing ideas like permission, ability, obligation, and prohibition. So when we say modal verb, so it says here that it adding meaning to the other verb, and it express the permission, the ability, obligation, and the prohibition. So I have here example. So how do we use modal verbs? So it has the subject, and then the modal verb, and then the verb. So I have here example. So Mary could play the piano. The word Mary here represents as a subject, and then the could here represents a modal verb, and then the play word here represents a verb. So as you can see here in the sentence, so the modal verbs place adding meaning to the other verb. Then another example, I can drive. The word I refers to myself, and then the word can is the modal verb, and then the word drive is the verb. So next, let us know how to use modal verb. So here are the following. First one is the permission. When we say permission, use the modal verb can or could to indicate whether someone has permission to do something. So, in addition, this asking someone asking for doing something. For example, in addition, it also having politeness or respect. So I have here an example. For students can register for fall classes beginning next week. So the word can here is our modal verb. So this sentence represents politeness. Then another example, I can open the door for you. So yes, the modal verb here is can, and then the sentence represents politeness. Then another example, can you please get my wallet? So from that sound of sentence is asking for permission. Then next example, could you lower the volume? This sentence, the tone of the sentence is asking for permission. And then another example, I could have helped her if I had known she was struggling. So this sentence represents a politeness, and the modal verb here is the word could. Okay? So number two is the ability. Okay? When we say ability or a skill. So the three modal verb that we consider under ability are can, could, and lastly, be able to. Okay? I have here, for example, also in ability, it has three parts, which is the present, past, and the future. So in the present, we use the modal verb can. For example, I can play the guitar. So here represents can as happening right away, which is the present. Then another example here is she can speak German. Then for past happening or past example that we use modal verb could. For example, I could sing very well when I was young. So from the its sentence itself, it happening from the past. So second sentence, she could read when she was 4 years old. Also happened in the past. And then the modal verb is could. And then next is the future. I will be able to drive a car in 2 years. So the modal verb here that use is be able to, or also it can be able to. Number 2, I am able to speak 2 languages. Okay, for number 3, we have here obligation, or a responsibility, or a having ability for recommendation. For example, we use must to talk about obligation. Often, when we use must, the authority for obligation comes from the person who is speaking. For example, in obligation, you must do your homework every night. So, of course, as students, our obligation or our responsibility, you must do your homework every night. Then, another example, you must answer at least 1 questions. Okay, and then next, so, as, let's say, for example, riding a jeep. So, as a passenger, our obligation must remain seated at all times. So, for example, here in our classroom, so as a student, you must sit properly while the teacher discussing the lesson. Okay? And then, number 4, we have prohibition. When we say prohibition, used to express prohibition include. So, when we use prohibition, these are the modal verbs that we consider or that we can use. Can't, as in C-A-N apostrophe T, and then mustn't, as in M-U-S-T and apostrophe T. And lastly, must not is other modal verb used to show prohibition. So those are prohibition, meaning is not allowed. So those are 3 modal verbs that we can use. I have here example. For can't. Example, You can't go into that restaurant without a tie. So, as what I've said earlier, prohibition means it's not allowed. Then, for another example, for number 2, you mustn't use your phone in class. So here, example here in our classroom, you as a student, you mustn't use your cell phone in class. Do you understand? Okay, very good. So, number 3 example, drivers must not drive on the left side of the road in North America. So, the modal verb here that use must not. Okay? Did you understand, class? Okay. So, since you understand our topic for today, so any volunteer can share or give the summary of our topic. Yes, Miss Arbas? Okay, very good. Thank you, class. You are able to understand our topic for today. Okay, class. So, as the summary for our lesson, so again, modal verb provide additional meaning to the other verbs. So, it uses to expresses the permission, ability, obligation, and prohibition. So, also, the use of modal verb, it has subject, modal verb, and the verb. And then, when the use of modal verb, it has 4 types. First is the permission or having politeness and respect. These are the modal verbs that we can use there, can and could. And then for number 2, the ability. So, and then the ability or the skills, we can use here also can, could, and also be able to. And then for number 3, we have here obligation. So, obligation or our responsibility. So, we use here the modal verb word must. And then for number 4, the prohibition or is not allowed. So, the modal verb that we can use here mustn't, and must not. Okay, do you understand, class? Okay. So, since you are able to understand our topic for today, I have here a formative test. So, here in formative test, it should be individual. In one whole sheet of paper, you're going to make a sentences at least 10 items using the modal verbs. As what those modal verbs that we discussed, you can use that modal verbs. For example, I can drive. So, it has, from that sentence, there is a modal verb there. So, I will give you 10 minutes to answer this. You may start now. If you have any question, queries, or clarification, you can approach me. Okay? Are you done, class? Okay, pass your papers forward at the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, thank you. I have here for your final quiz. It should be by pair. Okay? So, in one whole long band paper, you're going to create a dialogue that using modal verb. Okay? For example, girl 1, can I borrow your pencil? Then girl 2 answered, yes, you may. So, from those sentences or dialogue, they uses modal verbs in the sentences. So, the topic, It should be day-to-day conversation with you and with your friends. Did you understand, class? Okay? Very good. So, you may start now. Please, when you are doing this quiz, avoid any unnecessary noise, okay? If you have any questions, you can go me and ask, okay? Very good. You're given 10 minutes to answer this. Are you done, class? Okay. Pass your papers forward. Okay. Thank you. Okay, class. For your assignment, in 1/2 sheet of paper, you're going to write there, why do we need to study modal verbs and what is the importance of modal verbs? Okay? Pass your assignment on our next meeting. Did you understand, class? Okay, very good. Goodbye, class.